got your cup of soup?
Coffee.
Oh, it's out of character, isn't it?
No?
Mr. Coffee Man with your press. Would you ever step it up? There must be like industrial coffee makers, right? Where it's like a drill press.
Oh, like...
But it actually makes like a really small amount of coffee. But it's like, it makes it much better.
Yeah, I've seen some really fucking stupid hipstery shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like reverse drips something and boiled with a candle and like just all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it goes up and then it siphons back in as it cools and it does that, it shuts the flame off and stops it boiling and then it takes 3 hours. It's like, well, just
You wouldn't understand. My palate's very, very, very advanced.
yeah.
I can tell if it's been cooked with a candle.
Yeah. I saw
Fair
frozen coffee today, which was like so it's like a shot of espresso, frozen really really quickly, flash frozen I think they call it, and then so you just pour hot water on it, so it's like hipster instant coffee.
Right.
Stupid.
But with more science.
Yeah.
Why not just, I don't know.
Why not just make a coffee if you want one?
With a press and
with a normal
some
thing.
kind of weird gooseneck kettle or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah, it's empty bag of treats. It's just loud.
Oh, the dog was playing with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's
it
good
picks
to
it
be
up.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, play around with the rubbish, recycle,
Yeah.
return the world. Yeah, but yeah, it's episode 255. Recorded dangerously close to two other records I think one other record. But yeah, it's been a short time. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got a few things. If you're going to ask me how my week's been, nothing's happened since we last.
Just investigated industrial frozen flash fried coffee. Flash fried? That's the next one. That's the way forward. Yeah, I cook mine in a pan.
Yeah,
in a
bit greasy.
saucepan.
So the Aztecs had it.
Oh, yeah. Although there's probably a thing. I mean, there's always a difference in thing. Like what cup you drink it out of is always a thing. It's just how much you want to invest, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like drinks in certain glasses taste different. So you can get a really good glass for a drink, but then when you start having to have like licenses for machinery, it feels like it might be a bit out of the way.
Yeah.
We started implementing liquid nitrogen to flash freeze something. I guess feels a bit over the top.
They started using liquid nitrogen in a load of different food things, didn't they? Like all the fucking high-end chefs use it now for, I don't know, some kind of weird desserts and shit. Oh, we freeze the outside, but then the inside's still like molten. So when it splits open, it's all over the plate.
It's like cheesecake that gives you third-degree burns.
It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. So it's really
chefs.
nitrogen-y.
It tastes like Terminator 2. Death, crumbling to rebirth. I guess Terminator 2 is technically the story of Jesus. Mentioned Jesus last week. Oh, absolution. That's the term I was looking for. If you're seeking for forgiveness, I think you're seeking to be absolved in some way for your actions.
Right.
I think that's the word. I said acknowledgement, abolishment, absolving.
Yeah.
So it seems to be the way to go. But yeah, it's been a good 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine hasn't. Mine never is, but is yours?
Sure.
Sure. Do you put your cushions in the washing machine?
No, we wash the covers now and again.
Jeez.
No.
Moving on. Oh, yeah, well, it's normal people, isn't it? Just don't get it. I mean, I guess if
Not
you're
that
naked
often.
on it,
Maybe twice a year.
still too much, isn't it? I mean, like your clothes are on it, so your clothes are going to be the protector, and then you wash your clothes, isn't it? But then some people wrap it in plastic, don't they? That's their furniture.
Yeah, which is weird. That's a whole other level of.
It's not
I
that
don't
far.
like it, but that's like people who keep like perfectly pristine fucking dining rooms and guest bedrooms. Like, are you ever going to have a guest? No. Well, what? It's a wasted space. Like, I understand having one or something if you have a bunch of people around, and it's always that thing of like, well, it's always nice to have a guest bedroom and everything. So I get it, but if you don't have guests, like, why bother? Like, we've got
Well, you just want to
We had a spare room and turned it into turned it into this office, and it's got like a little couch thing in the corner that you can pull out into a bed. But it's like, how often do we have people stay? And we've got a pull-out sofa in the lounge. Like, really, why repurpose an entire room that you're never going to use? That's not green.
Well, I guess maybe they've got too much space. They want to. It's like that, good housekeeping or whatever. If anyone comes in, always offer them a lemon meringue or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the customs way of doing stuff.
Yeah, or if you're selling your house, you should be like baking fresh bread or brewing coffee or something because the smell is inviting. They always say that.
No, just use violence, right?
Yeah. Buy my house!
Just stand in the corner, just staring menacingly. Until they leave and either buy the house or you never come back. Win-win.
Make them sign something on the way in, but never tell them what it is.
Yeah. Wonder if it's the same when you buy land. There's just pop-up bakery, pop-up... just put a load of crime scene tents in the area.
He's found a tube. I don't know.
Don't know where.
Yeah. It's apparently it's a terrier thing. Like, he doesn't eat his stuff. He'll keep it for a few days, bury it, dig it up again, and then he'll decide to eat it later on.
Yeah.
So we keep giving him things, and then they disappear, and then he just has them when he wants them. So we can never punish him by taking away his stuff, because he always just knows where he's got more stuff. He's like Scrooge McDuck.
He's got a hiding cellar, or whatever the old houses had for when there was an invasion of whatever kind.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Heidi's never really dug.
No,
Never
well,
really.
apparently it's a terrier thing. Like, it's because they're used to like any kind of terriers, because they dig up like burrowing animals to fucking destroy them, and it's why they like sort of shredding things. Like they essentially ripping the skin off things and ripping the insides out.
Because of like moles.
Yeah, and rats and rabbits and that's what they were for. They were for getting rid of little pests.
Oh. Honey does the same, but wasn't shepherds for sheep? I guess you can tear apart a sheep.
Yeah, you can.
If you want.
Yeah.
Tourist, wandering stranger.
Yeah.
Just ripping shreds. Oh, yeah, it's 2x5. Yeah, it's briefly about, it's all right. You're all right. How are you, Steve?
Fine.
We covered that?
Yeah.
Fine.
There isn't really any how are you or anything like that. I'm starting to enjoy the rainy walks. Because there's been no kind of choice but to have walks in the rain recently.
Yeah.
But as I'm starting to enjoy them, he's starting to dislike them. So, he's just.
Why is in the cold or something?
Yeah, it takes him. It just takes a. It's weird because he likes water. Like, he likes going in the river and in streams and lakes and stuff. Doesn't swim, but gets properly up to his neck. Digs that, but I guess it's just water from the sky. He just doesn't understand it, and he's just kind of standing on the doorstep, just not wanting to go outside. But then you just a little bit of encouragement, and he'll move. But it's just
fine.
So I think I feel like it's the start of him going completely fully off it, which seems ideal, but it's not, because it means he'll want to burn all his energy off in the house, which is just not. Can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess, have you got maybe it's a temperature thing, like dog coats and that I've seen people have.
Yeah, well, we can get a little kind of waterproof something for him. I don't know.
Windscreen wipers or something too.
Yeah. Get those little rain mats with a hood. He's a sailor.
Yeah, sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure it'll be fine. Wait till the snow, and again, maybe then that'll be a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Dogs love snow.
Destroying things. Sorry.
Blankets, cushions, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Can't remember. Curtains.
My wife has put 3 bags of keepsakes in here, and he's just taken them out one by one and
Here they are. I've been looking for these. You're gonna die. Gonna destroy you. Wedding albums.
I mean, that's just it. I've been saying for a few weeks now. It's like, you need to put them somewhere and do something with them, but because the dog's going to.
Yeah.
You're just on the floor.
You can just turn those memories into new memories. It's like, instead of wedding photos, we've now got photos of the dog destroying the wedding photos.
Yeah,
and then
here
just
he
the
is,
cycle of life.
Yeah, here he is destroying your veil. Here he is eating the last bit of the wedding cake.
The Have you still got your wedding cake?
We kept like a slice of it frozen in the up until like I think just for the first year it was, and we had it on like our anniversary or something. It was fine.
You freeze cake?
Yeah.
Well, obviously you can.
Yeah.
You can freeze coffee, so I guess you can freeze
whatever you like. Doesn't mean it's going to turn out well, but you can still freeze it.
This is terrible. This tastes like regret, but not for the reasons that you're probably interpreting.
I don't regret. I do a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, that's perfectly healthy, but from an outside perspective, it sounds insane. This is the slice of the cake. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because I have
one of the shoes.
I'm not really a massively sentimental person. Like, I don't keep a lot of things. Like, I'm not really a stuff person. I'd rather throw everything away if I can.
You got those Steve Austin shirts, did you?
Yeah. I got a couple of shirts from when I was a kid, but then most of those have gone as well. Like, I don't know. There's not a lot that I'm really precious about. But so when you've got to keep like a slice of cake in the freezer that's for like a few years, and you're running out of space to put other things in the freezer, it's just weird to have something sentimental next to like chicken spines and things.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah, it is. But it's probably healthy when you're on the inside. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've been sentimental. I remember I kept the trousers that got destroyed at my first metal concert.
Oh yeah.
But then they got thrown away by family who went digging around my stuff. Well, you never need these, throw them away. And I was like, no. But
I always had bags of like little things like concert tickets and stuff like that. That I was like, it'd be really nice to make like a collage or something and just have have a hanging on the wall of all the things I've done and been and everything like that. But it never happens. It just end up staying in bags and stuff. And at some point I had to realistically be like, look, you either do it now or you're never going to do it. I didn't do it, so I threw it all away. Because there's just no point.
It's like I understand the collage idea, but my perspective has always been like, well, instead of like explaining to you or performing to you how interesting of a person I am, check out my graph. Like this is how interesting I am. I'm really interesting.
Yeah.
Just read that instead of talking to me, please.
Yeah.
That'd be fine. Yeah, same with like videos of concerts and stuff. Obviously, did it a little bit as a kid.
Oh, the stuff on your phone and everything. And I see people doing these recordings, and I'm just like, you're never ever gonna watch that, ever. So get your phone out the fucking way, because I can't see.
Well, it's just a responsible height, but like it's just I just feel like you don't experience as much as if you're not living in the moment. But like you don't really experience it. And I'd rather just remember it or have vague memories of it than have a video that I may watch again. But like, although I realised that if you had a kid, I imagine you'd probably keep photos of your child. Yeah. But then that feels like it's not really photos of you. Yeah. But you'd have it like maybe that's when I thought maybe I'd get organised. Is I'd have like my photo albums by date if they were pictures of some kind of offspring or growth. And then I'll put that online somewhere for reference later on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have pictures of the dog and family and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't do a lot with stuff like that. It just stays digital forever.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's because you're probably quite empty?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Emotionally, physically.
Yeah, it's not like this. This means you mean nothing. Yeah. It's just that not wanting to advertise, I think is what it is. Anyway, it's probably an interesting conversation, but I'm going to tangent away.
Fair enough.
To nothing in particular, but we got some news articles this week. We haven't got much because it hasn't been very long, but I mentioned last episode that Geronimo the alpaca was being put down for having tuberculosis.
Oh yeah.
Well, people are very upset by this, and so what they've done is they've placed him surrounded by 6 other alpacas who look very similar to him, in the hopes that the people coming to execute this alpaca will just like, oh, we can't figure out which one of these 7 or 6 alpacas to kill, so let's go home. And it's just like, I get that, you know, you don't want this, to use the article's words, condemned alpaca to be put to death. But I think in the same breath as saying these people are truly horrible for killing this alpaca, you're also saying they're incredibly gentle and nice, and they'll probably just won't really persevere. So no, they're just going to kill all of them.
Yeah.
You're just putting them all to death.
Yeah. Well, look, one of these has got TB, so soon they'll all have TB. So let's just kill all of them.
Let's just run them over with a larger truck.
Yeah.
And then it'll be done with. But yeah, what was funny is like, guys, we've got a plan. We're going to hide him in a small paddock with 5 other alpacas, and they'll just give up. There's nothing they can do. It's like, no, they'll just kill them all. They'll just kill them all. So yeah, a bit of a follow-up from Geronimo the alpaca, the condemned alpaca, is going down with his family and friends, which is nice. In other news, a woman who was attacked by an alligator has said, "I love him and it shouldn't face any consequences."
For fuck's sake.
Don't stand in the way of love.
No, but like an alligator. Like,
I love him, but I love him.
He tried to kill you.
Yeah, in front of a children's birthday party as well.
Brilliant.
So there's always fun. Lindsay Bull describes the 8-foot creature, given the name Darth Gator, as a member of her family.
Oh, love. Definitely love.
I didn't realise that. She said the owner says the reptile was just having a bad day.
No, he wasn't.
Stressed out alligator.
That's not real.
No, it was emotional. It just saw, I don't know, some film, 50 Shades of Grey, and got all amped up. They're
either awake or asleep. There's no bad or good or anything. It's just, I'm either awake, hunting and killing, or just being, or I'm asleep.
It's just, but I love it. I totally understand parental attitudes towards animals, especially like, I think this was in a zoo somewhere, so it was like a zoo worker, like handler, has a close bond with this animal.
Okay.
And like, I would forgive Honey if she bit me, but it's like, and love is obviously there, but just don't broadcast it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just, it feels like it becomes silly because you're now saying, well, we're in a relationship. It's like, if it was the alligator bit me, but it was an animal instinct and, it's fine, these things happen, I think it would get kind of passed over a lot easier. But like, no, don't do it. We're in love.
Yeah.
Lindsay Bull was left wrestling with the creature after it clamped its jaw down on her hand in front of guests during a child's birthday party at Scales and Tails in Salt Lake City, Utah. Bit her on the hand as well. So like, it's got the name Darth Gator, which is from Darth Vader, who cut off his son's hand, right?
Yeah.
Just living up to his name.
It's fair enough. I mean, right, I'm all for kind of education and kids getting a good experience and everything like that, but I probably wouldn't have alligators at a kid's birthday party. Lesson 1, don't get attacked by the alligators. All right, guys? It seems like a bit of an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, well, it's like, again, it's seeing nature.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sure there's lessons to be learned. And like, if you're afraid of alligators, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, America's different. I can't remember. Utah, I don't know exactly. Utah's like very middle America, isn't it? So I don't know if they've got many alligators like Florida does or whatever. Yeah, no, maybe not. Maybe it's a bit of a novelty, but it's like, who wants to meet Darth? Miss Bull, she was eventually rescued from the alligator, Darth Gator, after visitor Donnie Wiseman leapt into the water. Oh, that's a wise man. Just a random visitor leapt into the water to wrestle an alligator. I mean, I totally get it. It's stupid, but I mean, I'd do it. It's the story, innit? Yeah. Not even for the story, you'd just be like, well, I'm not going to sit here and watch this woman's arm get ripped off by an alligator. But like, I've got nothing to lose, I'll dive in. I don't deal with it. Well, to be fair, I said when we had the fucking the what animal do you think you could face and kill and everything? Like I said, like alligators, they've got one thing, and if it's already doing that one thing, then what can it do? Go for it. I think it's wrestle it, I guess. Yeah. Miss Bull, who avoided losing her limb after surgery, said, "We're going to fight as long as we can to keep him. As long as he's in our care and it's our choice, no consequences are going to happen to him. He was just doing what an animal does." That makes
Eating
sense.
people.
Yeah, just attacking. That's what they do. But just don't broadcast your emotions about it. She says she worked with Darth Gator for more than 3 years, and that he had been trained to respond on commands, including kisses on the lips.
Worked with him for 3 years. Darth Gator, employee of the month.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I wonder if they still kiss on the lips. Sorry, on the face.
I was going to say, I wasn't even aware that alligators had lips.
Yeah. But, I mean, do they have faces? They got heads? They got a nose? I guess they do, but what's that? A bill? It's not a bill.
I mean, I probably if it's bitten your hand, I probably wouldn't do that trick anymore.
Wouldn't give it your face.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, I love him. He's like a member of my family. That's true of everybody who works there. Everybody loves Darth." I'm sure they do. It's perfectly fine. But stop. This is making everybody hate you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we love this alligator, even though it attacked me. Like, I think you need to get out of that relationship.
Yeah.
She said the attack happened when the alligator became confused when he knew he was about to be fed, saying he mistook her hand for food. Is that food? I think she mistook her for food. That's the alarming thing.
That feels like you're anthropomorphizing something. It's like, I don't think he's making decisions. It's a reptile.
Yeah, but like there's like that thing of, I imagine there's some hormonal response.
Don't eat that. I don't think that's a thing with reptiles. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, I don't feel like they're trainable.
Well, rats are a weird example because obviously like science and all that stuff. I imagine you'd get a relationship with a reptile. I mean, there's many reptile owners. There must be some kind of.
The only thing I've ever seen with reptiles is as long as they're not hungry, you can be okay. Like you can be fine around them. Like there's plenty of people that I've seen like just walking around in like whole enclosures full of alligators and crocodiles and stuff, and it's purely because they know they're all really well fed. Or or they're the ones that feed them and they're walking in with like a carcass or something. There you go.
Well, that's kind of what happened. That's what I mean. Like the reptile probably knew. Sorry, Darth probably knew that like this handler was going to give him food.
Yeah.
So like you would expect there to be some kind of knowledge of like, don't attack her because she's going to give me food of some kind. But maybe again that could be anthropomorphizing. I don't know. For all he knew, it was a piece of chicken, so he grabbed it. She said. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hand or chicken? He needs to go to like sensitivity training.
Yeah, just to figure out like which. I mean, maybe she had chicken-like hands. I don't know. I don't know how many feathers she had, but it's all fine. So yeah, alligators. Yeah, fuck it, go for it. Okay. In other news, I thought. I found this funny. It's funny. South Korean television is sorry. All of South Korean television is sorry for using pizza to depict Italy in the 2020 Olympics. I'll read through it. Pictures and captions used by a South Korean broadcaster to depict nations at the opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympic Games has come under fire. They have since apologized for offending viewers after complaints the visuals were offensive and ridiculous. The channel, and this is like during the opening ceremony of the Olympics when like these countries are walking out, they would just have a graphic on the screen as well to better edge. So like Italy, and welcome Italy, and then just a big pizza appears on the screen. Italy. It's
like a kids' TV show.
The channel said it wanted to make it easier for viewers to understand the entering countries quickly, but it was an inexcusable mistake.
I'm sorry, if you're in an educated country and the flag and the name of the country isn't enough.
You've got announcers like
pizza.
Yeah, so it seems odd. Sung Jae, the channel's CEO Park Sung Jae apologized, saying they damaged the Olympic values of friendship, solidarity, and harmony. I bow my head and deeply apologized, and they're going to try and prevent it from happening in the future. When Haiti's athletes walked onto the stadium, for instance, an on-screen caption described the country as one with an unstable political situation due to the assassination of the president. Oh. Just little fun facts.
Yeah.
unstable political situation because of assassinations.
Yeah.
And when Syrian team entered, caption read, "A civil war that has been going on for 10 years. Now doing the long jump." So yeah, there's a few others. There was, what did I say? Pizza for Italy, salmon for Norway.
Yeah.
Chad, which was described as the dark heart of Africa.
I mean, that's worse than a pizza.
Well, what do you think? Ukraine came out and then they just showed the Chernobyl disaster. You know.
It's like just fucked up flashcards.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I guess it's stereotypes of those countries from South Korean perspective, I guess. You know, it's like when you have a conversation with somebody and like you realise that there's a wavelength that you're really not on.
Yeah.
So like I've got a friend of mine who said he's looking for, you know, he's trying to date, and he said, well, obviously, you know, I'm not really into any types or anything like that. I'm just looking for someone nice that can help me. And he said, but absolutely under no conditions can she have tattoos. And I was like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
No. Just no tattoos. No. And you go like, I so don't understand that. Yeah. But there's so many different avenues it can go off. It's like saying, oh, you know that Chernobyl person? Like, what? Someone from Chernobyl? No, they're Ukrainian. You know. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Oh, you know, pizza? What you mean, Italy? yeah. It's that kind of disconnect that's happening with this kind of thing. So yeah, it's not on the same level, on the same wavelength. It was fined after using similar captions and images at the opening ceremony for the 2008 Olympics as well. It then referred to Zimbabwe as a country with deadly inflation.
What? Deadly inflation?
Yeah, I guess they mean the physical inflation of the populace.
Okay.
As in, I don't know, maybe Zimbabwe was trying to get taller and so they were just being pumped with gas.
Is that what people think of when they think of Zimbabwe?
Apparently.
Balloon
they're very,
people.
very sorry. Yeah. But yeah, they're very sorry. Sorry for having flashcards up on the screen. It's fair enough. But yeah, those are the news articles from me this week, but we have got some audience stuff.
I was going to say with that Olympics thing, did you see what China did? They
no.
They proclaimed themselves as the winners, even though they came in like 4th or 5th or something like that.
Nah, we won.
Yeah, because they decided that they also owned Taiwan's and Hong Kong's medals as well. So they just added them all together and be like, there you go, China, we win.
Yeah. I think there was, I think this Olympics, which I haven't really paid attention to other than crying women on horses, or dead people on horses, is that apparently there's been a lot of disqualifications. I think it was like the Prime Minister or the President of Japan bit an athlete's gold medal and apologised and had to replace it. I think that's quite funny.
Oh, like
sorry for
testing, like he's testing if it's real.
Like for a photo op.
Yeah.
Like you're like, and then there was like teeth marks. It's like, well, you've bitten my medal.
Oh.
Can I have a new one, please?
Yeah.
And like there's a pandemic and you're spitting on my medal.
Yeah.
Can I have a new one, please? But yeah, there was ones where like I think people won gold medals, but then they tested positive for. Yeah, we had it like, you know, like a burrito, you know, like testosterone, or I think marijuana was a big one because obviously it's legal in some places but not legal elsewhere. So because it's not legal in Tokyo or wherever it is, then that means it's, you know, you fail the drug test.
Yeah.
Even though it's used medicinally elsewhere. So I think there's a lot of, it seems like it could be quite a weird Olympics. Still not as weird as green swimming pools.
No.
That's still the tip
Waterworld in Stoke has gone green.
Oh yeah, I think I read something like that.
And someone drowned there, trapped under a frog.
Too much green. A camouflaged frog.
Yeah.
I thought this was a water break in the water. It turned out it was just frogs. Drowned by a frog in Waterworld.
Yeah, in Stoke. Well, they didn't. They didn't drown. They nearly drowned. They had to be resuscitated, and it took like half an hour or something like that. It was just a kid. But they showed you pictures of like, oh, here's where it happened and everything, and all the water was green. It was just like, so we're just not mentioning this. Like, why? Drain the
why have you
pool.
put stuff in it?
What's wrong with you?
Why was there frogs there?
Oh, they've got like giant lily pad things that kids can hop across in the water that apparently kill the kids.
Okay, so it wasn't like a live frog. It was like
no.
Plastic frog.
Yeah.
That tried to drown a child. I don't think there's anything wrong. I've swam in green pools before. I think it's like a chlorine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a reaction. It's just weird not to do anything about it.
Yeah, especially if you're in a water slide park, whatever it is. Yeah, but yeah, fuck it, green. Let loose the frogs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we love the frogs. You know, we're not gonna let anything happen to the frogs.
No.
I mean, it tried to drown a kid, but really, Darth Ribbit is actually quite a nice guy. Whatever it is. But anyway, got a bunch of stuff from the audience this week.
Nice.
If you have any funny articles that you like, just message me on Facebook if you know me on Facebook. Yep. Or email them to
I won't do anything about it.
Just completely ignore you. The email is wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com, and they come through to our inbox and we check them. But yeah, to start off with, we had some good. SoundCloud is where we perform best as a podcast.
Yeah.
And I don't really check it that much, but we had some emails from some SoundCloud listeners,
nice.
which is quite interesting. So this is from Tia Rowley. She says, "Hi, I just stopped to buy back in my company, and I went inside of your SoundCloud Pulling Teeth podcast. And I want to say I really appreciate the tracks you got. I hope I'm not bothering you by texting you. I just thought you deserve more attention than you might need a hand with your profile. So why not go to big-music space club for the most official sounding website in the world." I love websites with spaces in them, it's great. "For SoundCloud, that assisted me and my business elevate movement and engagement by placing more likeys and plays." From Michelle Rankin. So it was from Tia Rowley.
Buy that?
It's so stupid. But the thing I love most about it is it's got who it's from at the top of the email, Tia Rowley, and it's signed off as from Michelle Rankin. This is from two people. Just at least keep the name the same.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Figure it out. Another one from Lisa Angel. "Hello, I just went back in my house and I walked inside your SoundCloud profile, Pulling Teeth Podcast. And I want to say I really relished the songs you've got there. I hope I'm not bothering you by texting you, but have you thought about going to onlinepromomusic.site? For SoundCloud that assisted me and my vision, reach movement and engagement." Yeah. It's always good to reach movement or elevate movement. I don't have the name. The name was really funny. Let me see if I can just grab that one. That one was from... So Lisa Engel from Abdul Bashar.
Oh.
So not even anywhere similar to the name that was... That's who it was from, but that's fair enough. Those were just random SoundCloud spams that we get from time to time. But yeah, got an email from a listener that I fully appreciate, and I have been wondering it for a while. "Do you need a license for a longbow? No, you don't. It's just a piece of wood. No license is required to buy, own, make, or use one. I have 3 and no license because there's no such thing as a longbow license." Did we discuss longbows? I think we probably did. Yes, I think we did.
I can't remember.
I think we were talking about guns or something, and then it was like, do you need the license for a longbow? Because you can probably do so. This is all making sense now.
Right.
In fact, if you're a male English resident aged 14 or over and you earn less than £10 a year, it's technically illegal not to own a longbow. Oh.
What? Fuck.
Yeah. Get on it. I mean, I don't think I was earning £10 a year when I was 14.
No. I mean, does pocket money count?
I don't think so. But I think I did have a newspaper route briefly until I just vomited and stopped.
Yeah, I had the same thing, and then I did it I was doing it over Christmas. I was like, this is shit. I'm getting paid like £2.50 a round. It was awful.
You're also legally required to practice with a longbow at a range of nothing less than 220 yards under the supervision of your local clergyman every Sunday after Mass. Sounds intense, doesn't it?
It does.
Makes sense. I seem to remember it being a genuine thing in some of the history stuff that I've watched over a little while. Because like longbows are quite cool.
Yeah.
But like they used to have it like children used to do archery and stuff so that they could be used to do stuff. And because it takes years to become a good archer or something like that. Although I've heard loads of weird things, right? Like there's claims that your body becomes deformed when you're an archer. Like because of the movement, so you get like quite hunched over, quite one-sided on your back. I've heard of like your hands get quite deformed, to do stuff. But I remember it being a thing. So it's good. We learned something new for questions that we'd forgotten, but still appreciate.
Yeah.
And lastly, from the audience this week, we've got how to enjoy masturbating with a partner safely. I don't know whether this is from personal experience or anything like this. I think this was like an NHS announcement. I remember something from this from a while ago about how to practice safe sex in COVID
times.
Yeah, so you got step 1 is make sure that you're both feeling well and symptom-free. You all right? Yeah? You feeling all right?
Great.
Yeah, all right then.
Nothing sets the mood like a lateral flow test.
Then talk about your expectations up front. I expect to masturbate.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, there's a lot of because it's so weird when you try and cold-heartedly document how to proceed with something quite primal, quite emotional as like sex. It's the same with like getting consent. Yeah. When they were like, oh, they should have an app that records consent for when you have a one-night stand or something, so that there's legal stuff. And it's like, but that never works because the context. What if they were pressured into making the recording of doing the thing? Yeah. And it's like it's a crazy situation. So trying to look at it as like a legal line is very weird, and you just have to go from you have to kind of make your best human judgment about the situation. Keep your distance, a minimum of 1.5 meters at all times, like some kind of challenge. Yeah. Like to try and reach over 1.5 meters. If you're sharing sex toys, make sure that you keep them clean by following the rules. What are the rules?
What? Yeah, what rules?
The rules of if you're going to use a rotating coat hanger, then you need to make sure it's always going clockwise. That reverts any negative emotions from entering your chi, or whatever it is.
And everything remains clean.
Yeah, I guess so. It's always about that clockwise.
Wipes. And just get some wipes.
Yeah, and just shine it with a bright light. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that'll work.
Like the sun.
And then, consider do it outside. Outside during the day. Yeah. In your garden, do it. Consider wearing masks to minimise the risk of COVID.
No.
They too. See, I still don't know. I still don't give a shit about the mask thing at all. I don't.
Yeah,
but like, I've never looked lovingly into someone's eyes. You know what I mean?
Like, it's one thing to be like, I don't give a fuck about the mask, but during sex is ridiculous.
Well, this is masturbating at a distance.
That's even creepier.
I can understand if you were like intimately, physically touching each other, then you would go like, if you cough on someone, it's probably not as bad as if you ejaculate into somebody. Yeah. But I can understand at a distance, maybe wearing a mask. I don't give a shit about the mask thing at all in any situation. But I think it's probably just people don't like being told to do people don't like PPE. I worked at working with what's a good way to phrase? I was a gas engineer briefly, and so there's loads of things like wear electrical gloves when you're operating with electricals so that they are electric proof. I learned a lot when I was there.
I think with the mask thing, it's just like, because I was never bothered about PPE or anything like that, but like because it made sense, like wearing helmets in these places and wearing gloves in these places, do this and all of that. Like, but with the mask thing, I don't know. I don't know personally, but like I know a lot of people are like, it's there's been too much contradictory information for them to take it seriously now. So, like, whether you think you should or you shouldn't, there have been experts that say you should, some that say you shouldn't, and then couple that with the whole thing of, like, well, I don't like being told what I can and can't do, and, like, all of that. It's all of that balled into one, really.
Well, the thing with the masking for me is I think there's been intentional confusion, because some people think that wearing a scarf around your face is wearing a mask. Some people think that I can't remember what they were called. They were called something, but like when I ride motorbikes, it'd be like a neckerchief that holds up. A stud?
Snood, S-N-O-O-D. It's just like a loop of elasticated material that sits around your neck. That's all I wore for ages through the pandemic. And it was purely because places said you needed face coverings. So I was like, well, this covers my face, and I don't really care about any of the other stuff, so here you go.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, so I wouldn't call that a mask in terms of
no, it's not
doing that. So it's like a lot of those arguments that go like, oh, that a mask isn't effective. It's like, well, then can we all just agree on what the mask we're talking about? And it's because it always just because that's what the majority of discussions I've had with people is like, yeah, but it doesn't do anything. It's like, well, what about the masks that do stuff? Oh no, I don't use those ones. Like, okay. But so we're talking about an ineffective mask and why it's ineffective. We agree on that. But in terms of masks that work, why don't we use those ones? It's like, oh, no, they cost millions. It's like, why? You can buy them at Tesco for $5. It's fine. But I reckon there's probably something to do with it as well. The mass confusion and lots of disagreements about it because of the lack of clarity.
The trouble is, it stopped being about kind of public safety in a lot of people's eyes and became a politicized thing. If you believe this about politics, you'll wear a mask. If you believe this, you won't, and all of that. And I mean, it seems stupid, but that's how it was.
Oh no, yeah.
Like, you can still now, if you go around the supermarkets, you can identify. I guarantee you can pick out what people believe and don't believe by whether or not they're wearing a mask.
What, as in like Christianity or?
As in who they'd vote for.
Druids. I reckon you could probably spot a druid. Just wrapped in loads of leaves. It'd be really good. But no, I agree. There's a lot of things are politicizing about it.
And class as well. Like it became a big line between kind of middle class and working class and everything. Because the working class, if they could work, they did throughout the pandemic, because there wasn't really any furlough schemes for this kind of stuff they do, particularly if they were like plumbers and shit. It was like, well, I've just got to work.
So are you saying that they were more likely to wear masks?
I'm saying they were less likely to wear masks because they were working throughout and didn't, and therefore the actual kind of fear of the danger of it all was just bottomed out. Like they didn't have that because they were exposed to people all the time and didn't get it, or it didn't affect them or anything. So they were just like, no, fair enough. Whether that's right or wrong.
I would have thought they'd be more wearing masks because they're at risk of losing their job. If you know what I mean. That was my logic jump.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense.
What I thought you were saying.
And there's probably plenty that were like that. But I found that people who were kind of furloughed and cloistered at home and could do all the work from home were more likely to be kind of masked up and strict about the rules and all of that. Whereas people who had to go out into the world regardless were kind of more nonchalant about it all.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it depends about attitude towards work, because then if you need work, you don't want to risk losing it. And if someone reports you for not wearing a mask and you lose your job, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I would assume they're probably more likely to wear masks. But so I reckon it's more of a political thing, as you say. I just find it really funny when politics influences anything.
Yeah.
Because my stance really is still like politics is pretty much completely irrelevant. Like on a day-to-day basis, I can't see any reason why you would go, well, Ed Miliband said this, so I'm going to do this. It's like, well, why are you listening to this guy? Why don't you just figure something out? Or why don't you reference, if it's a medical thing, look at medical. If it's an economic thing, look at economics. Like, no, it's got to be the person in the building on the podium.
Yeah.
I'll follow you till the death. Whatever it is.
Stupid.
It's people getting riled up.
Yeah.
Riled up and crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a thing. I forgot. I didn't make notes on because I thought it was quite tragic, but I thought it was quite funny. Oh, I left out. Do you know Right, it's really bad, but Afghanistan's having a bad way. Even though the Taliban are admittedly going to bring back amputation, they're also going to, they've a new thing they've released is they're going to allow women to be educated to university level now.
In what?
So that's good. I don't know.
Cooking, cleaning.
I don't know, whatever they want. It's just a really funny thing. I'm just like, there's a whole stupid thing about corporations that do this, where they let out like the minutes of a meeting. It's like, this is what we plan to do. Yeah. And it's all just so they can show you that they plan on doing something, but they're never going to. Well, it's in a bad way, Afghanistan. And a family that managed to escape Afghanistan and take refuge in Sheffield, their 5-year-old son fell out a window.
Oh.
So it's like,
fuck the Taliban.
In a hotel, and he's got like, how could Sheffield be worse than Afghanistan? Yeah. Just like, they had windows in Afghanistan. Finally, we're safe, apart from being in tall buildings.
Yeah. Travelled all that way. You escaped the Taliban, and a hotel took you out.
Couldn't escape gravity. Yeah. It's harsh. And then there was another thing about... Because I can understand how panicked the people of Afghanistan must have been, but like they were throwing their babies over barbed wire fences to British troops, telling them to take them.
Oh Christ!
And like, not all parents are good throwers.
Oh.
So like babies were getting caught on razor wire and shit, and you just go like, I understand desperation. I can understand that. But like, there's a limit, right?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't launch your baby.
Yeah, well, it's like, one, it's kind of funny to be like, you deal with this baby now, like just throwing it over a fence.
And just...
like, obviously it's so much more tragic than that, but I can't get over that image of like, whoop. Oh,
yeah. Oh. Could you get that?
So, can you deal with that?
Yeah.
You've got the NHS, right? You'll be fine.
And the soldiers, well, technically it's still on your side, so...
Yeah, and then I think, and the last thing about, because the Taliban is just really interesting, but because they're in power now, I think, I haven't confirmed that with it, but I think that's the deal, is they're in power now in Afghanistan.
Well, they've taken over.
British troops in Afghanistan are still trying to work with the Afghanistan forces to create security, but now the Afghanistan forces are the Taliban.
Yeah.
So British troops are doing patrols with the Taliban, who they've been at war with, since I think it was like 2000 something. Yeah. I can't remember when Afghanistan was. Oh, Afghanistan was the first one, wasn't it? So probably 2001, right?
Yeah.
But like, these people, we've been shooting at you and you've been shooting at us, but now we're friends.
Yeah.
Makes it a bit awkward, doesn't it?
It's a bit fucked.
Yeah, you're the reason that these babies are hanging from this barbed wire, right?
Yeah.
You didn't do it, but you freaked out the people enough that they threw their babies onto barbed wire. Like that, was it Women of Troy? I guess that's a really good parallel. Yeah, Women of Troy was like a horrible play we had to study at school.
Oh, right.
About the women in Troy when the Trojan horse came in. But it was told from the perspective of 5 mothers, I think, about just how sad the whole thing was and how they had to throw their babies off the walls or something, or watch babies being thrown off the walls. It's just like that, but in Afghanistan.
Yeah. No, it's all horrific and confusing.
But I'm sure there's people politicized by the Taliban, right? There's people out there like, I'm not wearing a mask because the Taliban says, it's good or it's bad, so I'm gonna do the opposite.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Taliban. Maybe it'll be a segment. I like it. I like that the Taliban's becoming a political party, like a genuine one.
Yeah, like they're gonna have a seat at the table at the fucking.
Be at the UN.
Yeah.
Fucking the Taliban. We disagree. Okay.
Again.
Yeah, we've got to be careful about how we disagree in public or whatever, but figure out what it is.
Yeah, we would like to put forward a motion to destroy the West.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah. Just Philippines put the hand
people.
up. Yeah, I'll do it.
We'll meet afterwards. Yeah, we'll meet afterwards.
North Korea. Yeah, we'll go.
South Korean television that watches over the Olympics. Yeah, we're up for some division and conquering. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me this week.
Cool. A couple of short ones for me before my dog completely destroys the room. Update on Wally the Walrus. He's been spotted commandeering a small pleasure boat in Crookhaven and is taking in the sights of West Cork Island.
Commandeering. That means taking control of and captaining, right?
Yeah.
taking the rudder. He wants to go over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Locals have now provided him with a floating couch to prevent the 800-kilogram walrus from sinking any more boats. He's just making his way through.
Give him a couch.
Just absolute chaos.
How do we deal with this walrus situation? Let's get IKEA involved.
Yeah.
See if they can unpack some flat pack furniture and see if that'll deal with it.
Yeah, they're pretty lazy, I think. So if we get him a couch.
Yeah, and some Watsits or something.
Yeah, good. Get him a Netflix subscription.
Yeah, some cable TV.
Yeah.
Unwind with some Dr. Phil.
Oh, adverts. We're going to sink that boat.
Get back, whereas most people get up to make a cup of tea, he just goes out to commandeer the Navy and then comes back.
I'll keep up to date on Wally the Walrus, figure out what's going on. In other news, researchers, the rest of this article was really dull, but hey ho.
Okay.
Researchers at the University of Wisconsin analysing the genetics of the daddy longlegs spider have used their work to create the daddy shortlegs.
The one thing that you had going for you, we're just going to take it away.
Yeah. So it's just a normal spider. We created that. Did you? Are you sure?
Yeah, they said I couldn't play God at university, but here I am. I will decide your limbs.
Yeah, it's like you didn't need genetic engineering. You just need a pair of scissors.
Yeah, it's got wings still, I guess. Maybe the legs got in the way.
So apparently, daddy longlegs, that we've got that whole thing confused. The wings thing, that's a crane fly. Daddy longlegs is a harvester spider, which is just a spider with really long legs.
Stop it.
Yeah. But it says, people in the US are likely very familiar with daddy longlegs. When asked what they should do when they encounter one, researcher Gonzalez says that they're harmless. Said, if you feel you must remove it from inside your home, pick it up and put it outside. Thanks, Gonzalez. That was...
Cheers. It'll be a lot harder now. They've got shorter legs.
Yep. That was
much faster leg speed.
Genetic researcher telling you how to put a spider outside.
Oh, just put it outside? Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And when you say put, just put it.
Just outside.
Yeah. In other news, authorities in Sri Lanka have banned the drunk driving of elephants. As in
commandeering stuff again?
No, so...
people driving elephants?
Yeah, you can't be drunk while riding an elephant now. Many rich Sri Lankans, including Buddhist monks, keep elephants as pets to show off their wealth. But complaints of ill treatment and cruelty are widespread. The new measures are aimed at protecting the animals' welfare, include strict regulations around working elephants, as well as mandating daily 2.5-hour baths for each creature.
Fair enough.
Those who violate the new law will have their elephant taken into state care and could face a 3-year prison sentence.
3-year prison for, it's mistreating an elephant, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that's the same over here. Like, can you be drunk and ride a horse? I imagine there's laws against it, but I've never heard of it.
I reckon it's probably like you can't do it on the road for sure.
Yeah.
But like, can you do it in your own stable? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing that's like driving, isn't it? Like you can be drunk driving on your own property. That's fine. You're just not allowed to do it on the road. Yeah, it's legal. You're just not allowed to do it on the road.
Is it? Well, it's legal to be underage, isn't it? Like
you can drive without a license on your own property.
Yeah, but like there's a weird thing where it feels like because you're in command of your body, it's a little bit. I mean, if you're dead, can you drive? Can a dead man be arrested for driving? I can't speak from
experience, but probably not.
Yeah, if a dead person was driving a car, I think they'd get arrested.
Probably.
No matter where they were.
Yeah. I mean, I knew someone that was riding a bike drunk and they got arrested.
Yeah. I can imagine. Like, if you're on the road.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even this. It's not about your safety, is it?
No, it's about other people's. But like private land, I'm almost certain you can just do what you want.
There must be something. Like, you can't. Let's say you had a helicopter. I imagine if you were drunk flying a helicopter and you were caught, your helicopter license would be revoked.
Yeah. But you don't own the sky.
Even if it was on your own land. No, but even if it was like on your own land or something like that, like, well, I don't know how they do it or whatever, like you were low or whatever.
But I think as soon as you take off, you're not on your property anymore.
Ah.
I would imagine.
Like airspace is owned. There must be this thing. Well, all right, a boat.
Yeah, because you don't own the airspace above your property. Planes can fly over your house.
So if Wally but over a certain distance, isn't it?
I don't know.
You can't be like, plane can't like go over your house too low. But maybe that's another rule. That's another law of some kind.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is, if Wally the Walrus owns the land of the sea that he's upon, he can commandeer as much navy as he wants.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I think planes have to stay at least 500 feet in the air. I think. So I was doing the drone stuff.
Yeah, like with the drone thing, yeah. There must be a thing.
Yeah, with the drone thing, I have to. It has to be 400 feet, and then there's like a 100-foot buffer, and that's where the planes have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you fly your drone into someone else's garden? And just hang out as much as you want?
No, technically no. You're not really allowed to fly over built-up areas. You can gain permission to do so, but technically no. You can't really. You're not meant to.
Yeah.
It's difficult to stop people doing it. I don't know. I still don't. I understand the rules, but I don't know how you'd police these things. Like I could take it off in my garden, and it's got like a 10-kilometer thing, so I could just send it off. And
how far do we live away from each other? More than 10 kilometers?
Yeah, I don't think it'd get as far as you. The battery would run out before it gets to you.
Because that'd be quite funny to start to deliver it like, I don't need to upload the episode of my video
just
this
deliver
week.
I can just deliver it by SD card. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. But finally from me, a woman who was claimed to have been having an affair with a chimpanzee has been banned from the zoo in Belgium.
Don't come here anymore.
Yeah.
He's got a wife and kids. You're breaking that family apart.
He loves me. A love story between a woman and a chimpanzee has taken Belgium by storm after the zoo managers ruled it had to end. Ms. Timmermans, who's been visiting Cheetah the chimpanzee, which is a confusing name, for 4 years.
Well, he's in an affair, so.
Yeah. Pleaded for a change of heart, arguing that the two would be distraught if separated. I love that animal and he loves me, she said. I haven't got anything else. Why do they want to take it away? We're having an affair. I'll just say it, she said.
I don't care who knows.
Yeah. Other dozens of visitors are allowed to make contact, then why not me? Because they're not trying to fuck it.
They're not having an affair with it. I mean, it's very simple.
Their get-togethers have involved blowing kisses and waving through the glass of the primate's enclosure, but the zoo told her, an animal that is too focused on people is less respected by its peers. We want Cheetah to be a chimpanzee for as long as possible. When Cheetah is constantly busy with visitors, the other monkeys ignore him and don't consider him part of the group, even though that's important. He then sits on his own outside of visiting hours. So he basically, like, the more time they spend interacting with people, the other group are like, well, fuck that guy. And then when the people go, he's just like... just sitting on his own.
That's really funny because it's so. I can see like such a big parallel between like Instagram, celebrities and like the rest of society. They're like, oh, the cameras are here. I'm going to be all great. And meanwhile, people like you and I are like, fuck this fake person, just looking for all those attentions. They can go fuck themselves.
Oh, you're blowing kisses, are you?
Yeah. Oh, wearing tight yoga pants for Instagram or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's a make sense argument of like they're looking.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not being dicks. They're like, look, it's bad for the monkey.
Yeah, but if it wasn't bad for the monkey and it was just like we just want people to stop having affairs with our animals,
that would be fine too.
Yeah, but that's where it becomes like that becomes the interesting side of like, well, where is society's line when it comes to openness now?
Yeah.
And then you go like, and again, no horse in the race. It's just like, this is the way it is. This is what society has decided for now. So it's just testing the waters. So no affairs with, I don't know whether a marriage would be acceptable. Maybe a marriage is acceptable, but not an affair.
Maybe a civil ceremony. I'm not sure the church would get involved.
I'm sure they'd love to. They love getting involved in stuff. I don't know how true that is, but they've got people knocking on doors, right?
Yeah. I'm not making a cake for your chimp wedding.
I've already got too much in the freezer.
Yeah.
So I'm not dealing with
I don't believe in this.
Yeah.
You can have one off the rack, and I'll buy you a chimp toy to put on top. There you go.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking up a chimpanzee family.
Yeah. But
Seems harsh.
That's it for me.
All right. Yeah. An interesting week of primate affairs and Olympic Chernobyls.
Yeah. I'm here representing pizza.
Well, it's just that thing of we've always said that if we were given the opportunity to do something like that, we'd feel like we'd do it better.
Yeah.
And it feels like this is just kind of slapdash of like someone said, a pizza? Let's put pizza on the screen.
Sure. It's late. Yeah. Just pizza is fine. Can we go?
Yeah, and I think that's how the world works. I think that's how everything's done. It's just like people who don't really want to do something, just kind of doing it because they're supposed to.
I guess, but it's like, why are they apologising? It's your country. Do what you want. You haven't killed anybody.
People just complained, so I guess they got to respond to the complaints.
You don't. This is the problem with the world. You don't need to respond to people being childish like that. It's like, no, we want pizza on the screen. It's our TV show.
Pizza, Chernobyl, and the dark heart of Africa, please.
Yes. Don't tell us what to think.
Just roasting the athletes as they come out.
There he is, Doughboy.
There he is, dark heart of Africa, trying to get gold. Fuck off.